It's that time for another exciting episode of Roy's Retro Reviews, where I, Roy Manan, review older video games because why the hell not? This week we'll be looking at Resident Evil 4, originally released on the GameCube back in 2005, and then ported to pretty much everything but Xbox in the years to come. So let's get the ball rolling. So I played this first on the GameCube, and then I rebought it for the PlayStation 2, and then I rebought it for the Wii, and then I rebought it for the PS3 HD collection. So I bought this one a lot. There is reason for that, and I'll get that into now. But in terms of Resident Evil franchise, this was actually the third Resident Evil game I played. I played the GameCube HD remake. Well, not HD, but, the HD or upgraded graphic one for Resident Evil 1 first. And then I played Resident Evil 2, and then I played this one. This stars my favorite of the Resident Evil characters, Leon S. Kennedy, just because I think he's a complete badass. It's just my opinion. And is really my gateway into more of the mature games. Originally, my parents didn't let me play M-rated games. I was only allowed to play the T when this game came out because I was, I believe, 16 at the time. I think it was my sophomore year in high school. And they didn't want me playing M-rated games until, I was 17, 18. But with this and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, I was able to get them to let me play M-rated games. This was really my stunt into M-rated games. I was playing the first Resident Evil 1 and 2 behind their back. But they came around and started letting me play these ones eventually. So, now to the review. So, the story follows, like I said, Leon S. Kennedy. He is sent to a remote part of Europe because the president's daughter has been kidnapped, and he is in charge of finding and rescuing her from some cults that has kidnapped her. In terms of the larger Resident Evil universe, this has absolutely nothing to do with Umbrella except for a little bit with Ada, and if you place the ones with the Ada side quest, as well as if you finish the actual Assignment Ada little mini game, you do find out that Wesker is also in this area trying to get the sample that Sadler has, and yeah, so there's a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, this is more of a kind of a side story. It's more of just kind of explaining why in Resident Evil 5 and 6 they weren't using zombies. Instead, they were using plagued people. But otherwise, I love the characters in this game. I love the villains. It's, the cheesy Resident Evil that I know and love in terms of story and character-wise, and dialogue. Mostly dialogue. Second act, there's a lot of cheesy dialogue with the Castilian guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But this is by far one of my favorite storylines in the Resident Evil universe. So gameplay-wise, this is the first one that instead of having you in third person, you aim up, down, and forward. You actually go over the shoulder and can kick people and stab people. And it's a little bit more action-oriented. And it was the first to really kind of, whilst I still consider this one to be a little bit survival horror, go more towards where that action horror that we got in 5 and 6. But it hit that sweet spot where it balanced it perfectly, in my opinion, between having to conserve ammo, conserve health, and being able to run and gun and, do awesomeness and be a little bit more fast-paced than some of the older ones. So, it hit that sweet spot. This is also the first one that ditched the ink ribbons. If you played the older ones, you had to have an ink ribbon to save your game, so you had to kind of pick and choose where you wanted to save your game as well. This got rid of it, and you could just save whenever you found a typewriter, which, personally, I enjoy because I hated not being able to save my game when I wanted to. Like, if I had to go somewhere, I had to waste an ink ribbon. Like, understand if it was, maybe there's a hardcore mode. Like, if you ever played Dead Space 2 or 3, there's a hardcore mode where you only get to save a few times or once, I think in 3's case. That was fine. But, I was really glad to see the ink ribbon system go away and just be replaced by just save whenever you can. The other major changes in this one are, like I said, is mainly the melee attacks, which is introduced in this one, which I love. 6 would abuse it, but I love them in this game. And just the atmosphere and everything about this one is a lot better than I think some of the newer ones were. But once again, I don't consider 5 and 6 to be survival horror in any way. I think they're just gothic action games. So, but that's a separate beef I have with the new ones. I still enjoy the new ones. I'll just say that right now, but for different reasons. The other gameplay mechanic that it's added is once you find Ashley, who's that's the name of the president's daughter, you will have to drag her around and protect her and make sure she doesn't get recaptured or died. This is where most of my frustration comes in with this game. I hated the sections where I had her with me. I loved it when she wasn't with me. That's just my personal opinion. I did not like that having to drag her around to protect her, and she also caused me a headache. Kept seeing Leon and getting picked up because she can't defend herself. And that was really my only beef with Resident Evil 4 on the whole, was just I hated the parts of the game where I had to protect Ashley. That drove me nuts. Other aspects, our puzzles do have some, are still part of this game, a little bit more than obviously the later ones, like I've said. However, they're still not like the puzzles like in Resident Evils 1 through Code Veronica, where they were really difficult puzzles sometimes, and you had to go find certain items in certain random parts of the house and backtrack and all that good stuff. This one was more of a linear puzzle solving kind of deal. So I think that's really it for at least the game, like overall gameplay. Like I said, I have fond memories of playing this when I was in high school. I do rank this as my second favorite, below the HD or the remake of the original one, which I really wish they would put on PSN or Xbox Live or something. It'd most likely go on PSN, but I would love to be able to rebuy the GameCube one, but that will never happen because I'm pretty sure Nintendo owns the rights to it. Curse you, Nintendo. At least put it maybe on the Virtual Store or something someday. Then maybe I'll forgive you for, not allowing me to play my GameCube games on my Wii U. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go into my review or rating system now. So here on Roy's Retro Reviews, I do not use points. I use what's called the nostalgia system, which is based off of my original thoughts when I was playing this game, from what I remember, and my playthrough of it, and like when I was recording the video that you're watching. Classic means I think the game's great still. It was great back then. It's held up really well over time, and I think it's, one of those games that if you haven't played, go play. They're really fun. Either go buy an HD collection of it if it's available, or wait or ROM it or download or emulator it. Somehow get a hold of the copy and play it, because I really do think it's worth playing. The next rating is fond memories, which obviously I have fond memories of the game in general. It's not the greatest game now. It hasn't held up well over time, but I still enjoy playing it. It's just one of those guilty pleasure games, kind of. But, they're still fun, in my opinion. But maybe not as good as, some other games that have obviously held up a little better over time. I remember it being better is exactly what you think it sounds like. I loved the game when it first came out. I thought it was the greatest. So, I had a lot of fun with that. I'm playing it now and going, why did I like this game again? And kind of question myself on my taste in games a little bit back then. And then the last rating is it's a piece of crap. Means that it was a piece of crap when it came out. It's still a piece of crap now, or it's just a piece of crap now. But, I thought it was good back. Well, not because that'd be the first, but it's just a terrible game. If you played any of these games, then I feel sorry for you. If you haven't played the games that get these ratings, don't. You're just torturing yourself. So Resident Evil 4, I give a classic rating to. I think this is, like I said, this is one of the best Resident Evil games to ever come out. Next to, like I said, I hold the GameCube remake, that's the best. But this one's definitely a close second. If you haven't played a Resident Evil, or, played 5 and 6 and don't like those ones, go back to 4 at least, because that one's what will get you hooked to at least what they should have been like in 5 and 6, a little bit more so than if they were still sticking to more of a survival horror theme than the action theme that they went with in the new ones. So that's it for this one. So make sure to leave a comment below, whether it's, you played Resident Evil 4 and you have your own feelings on it, or if you've, disagree with my rating on it and you think the game's not that good, or, you agree with me, leave why. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get all our reviews, from the Rule of 3 main reviews, side reviews, and retro reviews, and soon to be our Final Fantasy XIV show that we will be doing. Make sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff. And that's it. So thanks for listening. And always remember to keep those gaming memories alive.